Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today is February the 11th, 2026. Thank you, whoever subscribed to my channel recently, whoever watched the videos. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you. And I hope my audience is learning and is convinced to repent. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't say I'm going to do it next week. The Bible has promised us that tomorrow is not promised to none of us. Don't take my title and run with it. If you are a female that is looking for a husband or a significant other leading into marriage, please stay on this video and please do not be offended, and please look at this as an eye-opener. If you're a mother that is raising up a young daughter so she won't go down the same road you went down, but I have a lot I want to talk about, and I know that if I wasn't in this camera, you're probably going to want to kick my teeth out my mouth. I'm going to keep it 100 with you females. I'm talking to females today. I spoke about it yesterday in regards to some females that will go out here and marry men behind bars when they get out. Before I start my video, I want to tell you that I saw a video, and that's the reason why I wanted to make this video, because I've experienced this. And it is a tragedy to see women leave this world so early. I'm talking about some of them don't even make 25. Some of them can be in their late 40s, 50s. I saw a video where I think this young lady was 50 years old. I cannot remember where it was at, but I just want to give you a short version of this here video. How sad it was. All right. This young lady had 4 children. I don't know if they all had different fathers, but I saw the video that she had 4 children, and that's what the report said. She was dating a man, and it seemed like that they had some beef with some money. And they met at a Wells Fargo bank, and she was recording it, but the man had made reports several times that this young lady would be following him, and she used to accuse him of messing around, with which he was. And this last altercation that they had, she said she caught him at a donut shop. She said in the video, and I'm going to give you more details, what happened. The video saw her going to the bank, and he pulls up, and they approach each other, and they had an argument in regards to money. And it was a quick video that she said, "What you want to do? You want to shoot me? You cheating MF." Boom! And he shot in the head. Took her life. They interviewed the man, and he spoke about her, I want to say her obsession. This is what I caught while I want to make this video. Stick with me. I always take you people somewhere. It seems to me that her emotions was very high in the relationship. When I say emotions, I want to talk about insecurities. You got to think to yourself, she had 4 children, and I don't know this man's status, if he was ever married or if he had children. But the video was a long video, but it showed him having a interrogation with the cops, telling them her behavior, what led up to this point. Long story short, they end up giving this man 25 years in prison. He admit doing the crime. But here's the thing, what I want to make you people understand why I named this video. Pretty females are single and get old and lonely and want to get married. Don't run with it. The rabbit hole goes deep. When you're dealing with insecure females, I consider it that they've been ran through. And like I read in the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, when it talks about all these characteristics of men, God is addressing that this is the condition of the earth today. And then at the bottom of that, it talks about these are the type of men that work their way into weak-willed women's homes. Dwarf. God is considering a woman to be a dwarf when she doesn't know him. She has worldly desires. She has a carnal thinking. She's out here just leaning on her own understanding. So he considers that woman being a dwarf woman, because a dwarf woman can't comprehend like we can. So he's using it as a parable. And that is a lot of women out in the world that are considered as dwarf women. Because why? They don't want to submit to Christ. I want you to look at the precept. Pretty. Pretty women. They're hard to deal with. Now, I don't want to disrespect females to 100 degrees when I say pretty. What I've learned, and I'm going to show you what I think what happened with this young lady. I've even tried to date some women that wasn't that pretty. And I found out the hard way that even if they don't know Christ, they're going to even be more hard to deal with. Because why? They have some deep insecurities because they know they're not very attractive. So it goes both ways. That's why I say the rabbit hole goes deep. You can deal with a pretty female. She's going to be a problem because why? Every man is looking at her. And you can deal with a not so pretty female, and she's going to be extremely insecure. When I saw the video, and I have to be honest with you, this young lady was pretty, but she had 4 kids. So that's why I wanted to make this video. Why was she stalking this man? Why was she so in a rage that she would go through his phone? They had a meeting in his vehicle one time, and they met up for lunch or something, and he found out later when he drove off, she stole his phone. And then that's when it led up to, they met at this Wells Fargo. She ended up losing her life. What was the insecurity of this female stalking this man? They were in a relationship, and he told her he was just tired of it. And she didn't want to accept it. I'll tell you what it was. Them 4 kids. Let me make you people understand something before I get deep in the video about this young lady. You see, these 2 Timothy chapter 3 men that work their way into weak-willed women's homes that's loaded down with all type of burdens and sins, always learning but never come to the truth, is because they know they have messed up in the world. They probably got 4 baby daddies. And that's the same way I used to think, because I got 3 baby mamas until I gave my life to Christ. Now, here's what I want to ask you, pretty women, or if you're a female that's on this video. I think all women, all God's creation is beautiful, men and women, okay? But when I address this as pretty women, I want to show you and keep 100% facts. Pretty women today on this earth, my personal opinion, what I've dealt with, allow themselves to be ran through. I'm going to get in it in a minute. Keep that in mind. They allow themselves to be ran through. Why? They get a lot of attention. They think every man that looks at them wants them, but he just wants one thing. And then she end up getting pregnant. That don't work. She tried again. Then she get pregnant again. That don't work. She get pregnant again. That don't work. She get married 3 or 4 times. That don't work. Why is that? A pretty woman. That just won't work. I'm going to get to it in a minute. Stay on this video, and I'm going to take you people somewhere. All right. I want to make you people understand that I, as a single man, I dealt with that. And one of the things that I dealt with that it was very, very brutal, I'm talking almost deadly, is that when you deal with a female with kids, and especially boys, they're hard to deal with. You have to be a special man to deal with a woman with some boys that's already up there. If they're at the age of 12, you missed it. They gonna buck you. 12 and up, they gonna buck you. Follow me? I want to give you people a little rundown about my mother. Yes, I've made videos to tell you that my mother was a bed slut. My mother was out there. And if you'd have saw my stepfather as a retired military man, my stepfather, when he met my mother, I know that he was probably maybe 12, 13 years older than my mother. And he was an alcoholic. And you know the reason why my mother accepted this retired military man? He was married at the time when my mother met him, and he divorced his wife to marry my mother, okay? But my mother, with the city that I live in, was known. You know, other men going to take my mother with 3 boys. Come to find out as I gotten older that we'll have 3 different daddies. All this time growing up, I'm thinking me and my middle brother got the same daddy. They hid it from us, okay? I found out like 2 years ago. He's not my father's son, but the whole family tree went along with it. Here's my point. If you'd have seen my stepfather and you'd have seen my real father, you know my mother would just only be with this man for personal gain. All right? Because my father was a womanizer, and he was very, very, very nice looking man. And so if you're looking at me, you're looking at my father. In my younger days, I didn't have gray. If I show you some younger pictures of me, you're like, wow, that's not boasting, but I'm just trying to show you that my mother used to always say, you're going to be just like your daddy. And I was. The apple don't fall far from the tree. I was a womanizer. Follow me? I want to make you people understand what I dealt with. I'm just going to give you some, off the top of my mind, some things that I dealt with, and I don't ever want to deal with it again. And I also dealt with it currently in my marriage today. Thank God that it hadn't got out of hand, violent, because my wife is pretty much stabilized in that area. She don't want to see her sons jump on me. But I felt the vibe that they don't want to have nothing to do with me. So I'm okay with that because I'm experienced. I dealt with this before. Now, I want to make you people understand that I met a young lady years ago, and I was on a good career job, the job that I retired from, and I can remember this young lady had a 16-year-old son that was getting ready to look like he was going to be able to be drafted, you know, like some college people wanted to pick him up. He was a running back. And I saw this guy. This guy was stout. Please, people, I got to give you the video so you can understand what I'm trying to tell pretty women. All right. Now, not only just pretty women, but the main topic is the ones that are extremely hard to deal with, pretty women. All right. I would go visit this young lady. She was African American. We were trying to date. This lady was a school teacher. She was single. And this 16-year-old dad was in prison. So when I would visit this young lady, the 16-year-old would be outside playing. It was like summertime. He would come home in the screen door be locked, but the front door is open, and I'm sitting there, and he was like, boom, 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 boom. Mama, open up the door. I said, your son talk to you like that? Yeah. He'll walk in the house, walk in the kitchen. Mama, you ain't cooked nothing? I'm hungry. What you been doing? Sitting around talking to this dude. And I'm looking at him. I say, God, my goodness. The good dude would go upstairs. She had a 2-story home. He would go upstairs. Stomping on the stairs real hard. And I said, man, this dude is stout. So I used to keep my gun in my vehicle. So I had visited this young lady several times. And she said, D, I remember one time he came home. She did it again. She locked the front door because she didn't want nobody just walking in the house. And he walked in the house after so many times. We had a talk about this here. She said, can you talk to my son? I said, you want me to talk to your son? Yes, can you please talk to my son? Because we were planning on getting together. All right. Now, this lady had a brand new 2-story home. She had it going on. She was a school teacher. Okay. And she had a boy and a girl. The girl was probably 14 and the boy was 16. And I found out that he was going to this high school that was a popular high school in our area. And that was him that I used to see on TV that this high school used to always win championship games. And this dude was on his way. All right. One day he did it. I stood up. I said, hey, man, let me holler at you for a minute. Yeah, what's up? Would you want anybody to disrespect your mother? No. I said, well, I'm over here trying to date your mother, man. And if you heard me talk to your mother like that or put my hands on your mother, wouldn't you react and say, don't put your hands on my mother? You damn right I would. I said, well, then why is it okay that when you walk in the house, you disrespecting your mother in front of a total stranger? Mama, will you tell this ninja he ain't none of my daddy? And she told him, just listen to him. Just listen to him. So I'm thinking the mother's on my side. So I said, well, I tell you what. Back then, I was still a little younger. Didn't have the gray hair. And yeah, I got heart. Oh, yeah. Remember I told you I used to get beat up when I was in the 3rd grade. But I ain't that type of guy no more. No. Trust me, I'm that guy. I'm not going to sit up there and argue with you and fight so you can put your hands on me. But I'm that guy. All right? Now, so my pistol's in the car. So I told myself, I tell you what. I started tying my tennis shoes up and stuff. I said, how about me and you go in the backyard, in your mama's backyard, and I want you to talk to me like that, and I'm going to show you what time it is. What? Mama, you better talk to this ninja. I said, no, I'm talking to you. Stop talking to your mother like that, man, and disrespecting your mother. Man, and so he started looking like he was crying a little bit. So I punked him, and I said, no, get up. You talking to your mama like that. I said, you're going to go out in the world and probably start hitting on females. I said, I want you to try to come out here and challenge me. I was going to sock him right between his eyes. I'm not kidding. If the mama would have gave me some permission, I was going to pop him right between his eyes and beat the you-know-what out of him. Guess what the mama said? Hold on. Wait a minute. So he was crying, so she got emotional. And this is what the lady told me. D, stop. And I saw her go to the kitchen and she picked up a knife. So I said, what? We goes outside to my vehicle. She said, now listen. You getting a little bit too out of hand. I said, what? You just told me, and I've seen your son disrespect you, and your son has came in his house like he wanted to jump on you. I've seen your son buck you. If you would have put your hands on my son, I'd have stabbed your A. I said, you get out of my car. What? I get out your car? And that's how we broke up. Follow me, men, if you're on this video. Let me ask these women a question right quick. Do you want to be cleaned up? You made some mistakes out in the world, and you want a husband. When my mother was married to this alcoholic, my mother knew that wasn't no other man gonna want her, and she told us, because this man was the breadwinner. He brought home the money, and we had a roof over our head. He took us out the ghetto. So my mother said, I know my husband is an alcoholic. And she didn't say, I know I used to be a bed slut, but she said, I know my husband is an alcoholic. But if I catch any of y'all, and it was 3 of us. Yeah, 3 boys. And this man took us in. Not to say he was perfect, he used to curse us out. And my mother said, don't be cursing out my boys. She didn't just tell us If I catch you bucking my husband, I'll shoot you. She said, yeah, I'll shoot you. This your stepdaddy. Your real daddy ain't doing nothing for you. So you better not buck him. And we didn't buck him. My mother was serious. My mother was a dominant female. And I seen my mother whoop some females as when we was little. They told me my mother used to whoop a female like a dude. Are you with me? All right. But we never bucked our stepfather. And my mother sat us down and told us that our real father wasn't it. All right. We don't have that generation no more. I'm going to give you one more, and then I'm going to show you people what condition we in today. You say you want a husband, but do you want to be cleaned up? I was living with this female. We wasn't married. Her son was 12. I was in a one-bedroom apartment when I met this young lady at a club. Seemed like to be a nice young lady. This is a young lady that I told you that visited me, and I smelled something going on down there. I made another video about it. She suggested, after I had confronted her about what was going on down there, she told me she was on her cycle. And I said, well, I'm not supposed to smell that. I gave this female the benefit of the doubt. We end up moving into the same apartment complex where I was living, into a 2-bedroom so her son could have a room. Come to find out, this son of hers that was 12 years old. Now, 12 years old, when I used to get home from work, he used to already be home from school. He would be outside chunking a football or something with another kid in the apartment complex. And I'd go upstairs into the apartment. I smell like a sewer pipe that's busted. Go in the guest restroom, big old missiles in the toilet where he had a bowel movement and forgot to flush the toilet. I started seeing signs. Well, I also gave this lady the benefit of the doubt because when I moved out of her apartment, it was filthy. Here's what I want to make you people understand that I've learned the hard way. And women today are so desperate. I'm going to give you some things that they're doing because they know they messed up. We all came from a generation cursed, people. Yes. And God went to the cross and he's asking you, do you want to be cleaned up? If you're sitting around waiting on a perfect wife or a perfect husband that's already cleaned up waiting on you, you are a fool. God is asking us as people. He uses people to help people. So that means that there are women out here in the world that are lost. There are men out here in the world that are lost. So God said, come to me as you are and I'll clean you up. But what's happening in the world, they get into relationships and they exclude God. They want to lean on their own understanding and they try to fix a relationship without God. I did it. I promise you, 100%, it ain't going to work. If that person don't want to give their life to Christ and you don't know Christ, it's going to be a disaster. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Now, like me, I'm a man right now and gave my life to Christ. And I'm going to ask you pretty women, consider me asking you pretty women, do you want to be cleaned up? I'll marry you if you want to be cleaned up. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. I married a wife right now, and she said she wanted to give her life to Christ. Do you want to be cleaned up? And they'll lie. They'll lie just to get with you for personal gain. Or they'll lie and get with you because they know don't nobody else want them. They want you to sign up for all their flaws. And then when they give with you and they end so deep, well, I didn't know it was going to be in this depth of giving my life to Christ. And they play actors, pretenders, hypocrites. But God got something for them. God is not mocked. So this is what I'm trying to make you people understand. I'm dealing with a wife right now that I gave my life to Christ, and God put in my life to clean her up. So here's the danger if she don't want to be cleaned up. And I'm telling you, if you don't want to be cleaned up, I want you to understand the mind of a rich man. I want you to understand the mind of a gay person. I want you to understand the mind of a lesbian woman. Do you want to be cleaned up? Whether you're pretty or you just decent looking, you're a modest looking female, do you want to be cleaned up? All right. What I'm getting ready to tell you, you're going to probably want to kick my teeth out of my mouth, but I'm on this video. Thank God. Here's what I want to make you people understand. In the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, the city of Sodom and Gomorrah, they did acts that was outside of God's will. This is the reason why we're living in generation curses today, because we are the descendants of that generation. Incest, gays, lesbians. So, what did God do to them in that city? Before he burned them up, he gave them over to a curse, which is considered as a depraved mind or a reprobate mind. It's in Romans 1, chapter 1, verse 28 through 32. If you're a pretty female, and if you're a female that wants to have a husband, then why is it that when you find a husband like me, and I try to clean you up and tell you some flaws I see, you want to leave me? That's what these women did. They left me. They didn't want to have nothing to do with me. My first wife that I married left me because I didn't want to go to clubs no more, and took my 3-year-old daughter and burned me for child support. I paid child support for 15 years, and all she cared about was the money. She goes out here and stay with a guy for 10 years. He didn't want her because why? She had the same flaws. She didn't want to be cleaned up. So he got tired of trying to make her stop going out in clubs and doing certain things. So he popped 2 babies in, and now she want to come back to me with 2 babies that I didn't make. But I wasn't good enough to raise my own 3-year-old. You see the reprobate? So God sees that since you want to live outside his will, pretty lady, clubbing lady, or I'm going to give you a list who they are. He's going to curse you like he did the rich man. The rich man don't think he need God. Why? He got money. So God cursed him like that to believe a lie. What's the lie? He believe he don't need God. Same thing with gays. Way back before our time. He gave them a strong delusion. He cursed them that listen, they ain't coming out of it. So if you're a filthy pretty female and you doing things outside of God's will, he gonna curse you just like he did them. He said, am I not the same today as I was yesterday? So if you're a pretty female that you want to have a normal marriage, God gonna curse you with some behaviors that you have that's outside his will and stick you that way. And guess what you're destined for? Hell. That's why you cannot go and criticize gays and lesbians. That's why you can't go and try to talk to a rich man. They're stuck. That's right. Most of them are stuck. They stuck like that. Now, we have some generation curses. And not all people are stuck like that. That's why God said, do you want to be transformed back into what I created you? You want to be a man? Then give your life to me. You want to act like a feminine female? Then give your life to me. But since you don't, I'm going to curse you like that. So go speak to them and try to criticize them to their face. You see what Charlie Kirk endured? Gunshot to the neck. Because what did God tell us? He warned us. He said, be careful. Scoffers and mockers has arisen in the last days. That means that if you correct them or if you criticize them, you're going to get abused. Why is that? I want to make you people understand. I'm telling you, I'm going to give you what the conditions are in the world today, and I'm going to show you why pretty women, females, are single and get old, lonely, and want to get married. Remember when they were out here and you tried to talk to their son, you try to structure them, you try to clean them up, you try to tell them, I don't want to go to clubs no more. You remember when you was trying to tell them, hey, we need to stop doing this here. You know, I don't want to smoke weed no more. I don't want to go out here in the world and be traveling all the time, wasting money. And well, yeah, I don't want to be with you then. You tell them, you shouldn't be stripping as pretty as you are. Why are you stripping, girl? Why are you out there hoeing around like that? They didn't want to listen right. Here we are today. These are the conditions in the world today, whether you believe it or not. And many people are being cursed with a depraved or reprobate mind because God says this has to come to pass. And here we are. We're in the great apostasy. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, it calls it lawlessness. What is lawlessness? Not because cops won't come to your house and do the right thing. Not because our government, the Bible is talking about it is greed in man's hearts. Yes, our cops are corrupt. Government is corrupt. And what God is saying, we're living in a generation just like the days of Sodom and Gomorrah and like the days of Noah. This generation has been deceived by Satan, and it is a filthy, unlawful generation that has excluded God. They have abandoned God. They don't want God. They don't want to be cleaned up. Okay? So this generation has completely abandoned God, living free, and that's why we see an uptick with violence, corruption, and filthiness. And when I say filthiness, people are naked. That's right. And they're doing the unbelievable, the unthinkable behind closed doors. And they're doing it out in public. Women dressed where you can see all the curves from the front to the back and the print and everything. And they are not ashamed of it. God called this earth is defiled. Moral decay. That's right. So Romans 1 verse 28 through 32 is the condition today, meaning that people have depraved minds and reprobate minds. God cursed them like that. All right. So I want to make you people understand before I read some scriptures to you about what Satan rebels that these women choose and what they have done to these women. Go back to the video I made yesterday, what I'm trying to show you about what I read in 2 Timothy. These pretty women like bad boys. They like men that are aggressive. They like men that are violent. They think because the man is so violent toward them, they think it's love. But it's not. It's a reverse. And that's why a lot of pretty women today or women are getting deleted. Let's kind of look at some stuff so I can make you understand what men are doing to women today. Because I tried to clean a whole lot of women up. And they divorced me, moved out when I went to work. They didn't want me telling them nothing. They wanted me to sign up for this. And this is what I'm finna show you what these men do. You see, when you meet a man in a club, or you meet a man at church, or you meet a man at a family gathering, or you meet a man at a just walking in the store, wherever you meet him, let me show you what these devil rebels are doing to you pretty women. And then when you get old and worn out, then you want to get married. Don't nobody want you. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. All right. See, a Satan rebel man, he knows that if he tell you you're childish, if he tell you you're stupid, if he tell you your cat smell, if he tell you, damn, man, she blowing out down there. If he tell you your breath smell, if he tell you, damn, girl, you talk too much. If he tell you you party too much. If he tell you, hey, I don't think this gonna work. And what do? Just like that man told that woman that I told you at the beginning of this video. He's trying to let her know it ain't gonna work. Her emotions is all high. She was insecure because she had 4 kids. And she was going around trying to see if the man's messing around on her. So this is what's going to happen to you. Okay? But this is what they'll do. Some of these pretty women, instead of accepting the marriage, they'll start giving men BJs and special treatments and stuff of that nature. Oh, yeah. That's when they start getting real filthy. Like, nah, I bet you if I suck it, you know what, he'll get with me. And they thinking if they go to the extreme and just start doing things, okay? Now, I want to make you people understand about something that I know that pretty women also would take desperate measures and do. Because they want to be edified. They want to be glorified. They don't want to be single. They like that attention. So some pretty females pick females that act like dudes. That's why they start going towards women. That's why we got women with women. And I know we got men with men, but that's another video. Okay? They'll take those desperate measures. Okay? They'll say, well, you know what? I don't need no man. I'm going to go buy me some toys. Start using their hand. Masturbating and all that orgasm and stuff. Yeah. I was married to a woman. that she got so used to using her hand, she didn't want to have sex with me until she used her hand and wanted me to watch her. I'm going to get to it in a minute, okay? All right. I'm going to give you Bible in a little bit. Some women, pretty women, will start sleeping with the bosses. Oh, yeah, co-workers. Yeah, they'll start sleeping with the bosses and co-workers and marry these men, ex-jail or prison men, because they're so desperate, and get deleted by them. I got my notes here. I want you to get it. Some women will go out here and go to clubs and seduce men, and men will go and have sex with them, and guess what? They'll do some witchcraft on them so they can keep him. Oh yeah, it's all over the world. They'll start reading cards and start putting they monthly in the beans and some soupy foods, and the man can't break away. He in bondage. I got a brother like that. I told you he got 9 lives. He ain't going nowhere. She got him on a fly trap. They'll poison a man. All right. A godly man like myself tried to tell females the truth. They leave me. And you'll try to clean them up. They take offense. When I was dating this female, and we went to dinner, as we was talking at the table, I almost lost my appetite, but I said, man, I'm gonna have to talk to this young lady. Man, you know, she okay and everything. I mean, it smelled like a pork chop was still stuck back there. And I had to tell this young lady. And let me tell you how this young lady responded to me. I said, hey, can we have a talk? We was in person. I invited her to my home, and I said, we've been having a good time and everything. I said, but can I tell you something? Yeah, what's up? What's up? Have any other man ever told you that? I said, yeah, have you been to the dentist lately? What? Ooh. I said, oh, you good? Man, what's wrong with you? You so bold. I said, what? I didn't comprehend that, people. So I'm thinking about, you know what? I dealt with these women. I'm tired of these nasty women. And I'm not signing up for it. This young lady said, well, what are you saying? I said, something ain't right up there. I guess. I mean, you know, man never told me that. Did you catch that? I'm going to see if you pretty women caught that. You probably saying, yeah, you are rude, D. I mean, if you can't accept me the way I am, then don't accept me at all. Reprobate and a depraved mind. Follow me? I'm going to take you people somewhere. Do you know why that female told me that? I'm going to tell you why this female told me that. Because pretty women are like airheads. They don't want to give their life to Christ, and they don't want to be cleaned up. That's why I'm trying to make you understand about the video I made yesterday, why they'll go get a man in prison, and why they'll take desperate measures and start sleeping with the boss. Okay? And some of them is in church. The reason why this female said that is because a man that is of those characteristics in 2 Timothy chapter 3, these are the type of men that work their way into weak-willed women's homes that is loaded down with all type of burdens and sins and fleshly impulses. They want to get an orgasm. So the man say, I want to get a nut. Damn, her breath stink, but I ain't going to say nothing right now. And then he ain't going to tell her. And then she going to start seeing the faultiness. Why you don't answer your phone? Why you don't call me no more? When you going to come see me? He don't want to deal with your breath. And he know if he tell you about it, you're going to do just like what you did with me. You're going to get offended. The same thing what I'm trying to make you people understand about if you tell a female, girl, you know you, don't say that again. You know you stupid. What? They think because they pretty, that's their power. Don't call me stupid. You know what? I'm and they'll get up off the dinner table and leave. And so he said, I ain't going to tell her she's stupid. And they make you laugh. And you be sitting at the dinner table, a female, calling your girl, texting her. Girl, I met a guy, ooh, he's so fun, he's funny. We out eating right now. And he looking at you going, you damn fool. I'm going to get that. And then he'll get it, and he'll go, what's that smell? Man, golly, he gonna put some peroxide on his penis, and he'll tell his boy, man, I hit this girl, man, she smelled like sardine, man. Did you hit it? Yeah, I was drunk, and I ain't going over there no more. He ain't gonna tell her. So guess what? You become nose blind. And then a godly man like me try to clean you up and tell you the truth. You know what, girl? He ain't gonna be calling me stinky. I met this godly man, and I don't want to deal with him no more. Why, girl? He calling me stinky. She don't believe it no more. Why? God cursed her like that. You don't believe it? It's a whole lot of them out there like that. I'm talking, they fishy. Yes. And you look and go, ooh, look at that girl. And you walk up on him, whoa. It's unbelievable. And then when you meet one, you don't smell their breath, and so you all right, I found me a good one. And then you go have sex with them and stick it in, be like, God, dang, who did she meet? Mr. Dango, who did she meet? She blown out. He ain't gonna tell her. She know it. They'll look at you and like, you okay? Because she think he ain't got a heart on. No, he got all that space in there. He got a heart on, and he ain't that enlarged, but he know, man, I just went up in this girl. What? Yeah, man. Woo-hoo. She'd have been ran through. So he ain't gonna go tell her. She'll call, hey, what's going on? Do you have erectile dysfunction or something? He ain't gonna tell her. She don't think she blown out. She'll ask him, I noticed the other night we was getting it on and you stopped. He ain't getting no feeling. They blown out. Like I just said, people. And I'm going to give it to you and I'm going to let you people go. Men, if you're watching this video, don't criticize these men that don't tell them. I experienced it. I'm a godly man. I had a hyena over here that I was married to in 2006. Tried to tell her, stop smoking weed in my house. Don't be playing music loud in my house. And don't be cursing me out. And don't be using your hand to have sex with yourself. She started acting like a hyena, a monkey. Started calling the cops on me. And left me when I went to work. She's no longer with us. But I couldn't train her. Okay? They don't want to be trained. This lady got used to her hand. Listen to me, people, what I'm finna read to you in a minute. I want to make you understand about the moral decay. Do you understand that the body, flesh, is corrupt? The heart is desperately wicked. And if you have not been redeemed by God, these are the kind of acts you're going to see. I want to make you understand how masturbation and a woman using her hand in toys is of the devil, and it's a sin. You see, it's called immoral sex. Immoral. Not moral, immoral. All right. Now, do you understand that the body is supposed to be reserved for intimacy? Intimacy is two people getting together of the opposite sex, male and female, to make babies and to be intimate, to make love, not just F and have sex. But women have fleshly impulses because they don't want to be submissive to God, so they'll get their own fix. In any kind of way how they want to. They'll go sleep with the boss, they'll go sleep with a co-worker, they'll go get some toys, they'll use their hand. Now, let me make you people understand. We as people, I didn't know this. Now I know this because I was a bed slut. Do you understand that I'm going to first use me for an example, and I'm going to show you, Miss Pretty Lady, I'm going to show you how you damaged yourself. You see, when I used to go find a woman, a different woman, but I've been with all these other women, those are spirits. Whoever she slept with, I slept with. And if I slept with many women, do you know the woman that I'm on top of right now? I'm thinking about those many women. Because it's probably one of them that really made me feel good. That's why it's not good to be out here with multiple partners. You're trying to focus on the woman that you're really married to and you want to be with, and she going, babe, babe, are you with me? What are you thinking about? She can tell that you're thinking about somebody else. Are you with me, honey? Get up. You're not with me. These women can tell. Same thing with a man. I had a woman, that the woman I was married to, called me another man's name before I married her. It was her ex-husband. She hadn't got over him. So do you not understand that when you having sex with a man and you're a person that use your hand, and if he ain't hitting it right, you're going like this here while he's humping. He think you like this, baby. You going, because why? He ain't hitting it like that toy. And he ain't hitting it like that hand. So when he get up, you go in the shower or you go whatever, and you're like, oh man, this, girl, I can't, I just having sex with my man and he just ain't hitting it right. I'll call you back, girl. Ooh, and you got to get it off. It's a sin. Here's the condition we in today, people. We're in the great apostasy, which people have abandoned God, okay? And we're in the great separation. We're in the great separation today, all right? Listen to what I just told you, and I'm going to read it to you. And I'm going to try to take my time and read the scriptures that I marked down. This world is in moral decay. Immoral decay. That means that this world is filthy. People are finding all type of ways to get their rocks off. People just want to chase money, have sex, have an orgasm with anybody. Marriage is out the equation. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right. Marriage is out the equation, okay? What I want you people to understand, and I hate to tell you this here, and I ain't making it up. I see it all over the world. If you're over 50 years old, you're female, and you still pretty, still got to kind of hold your body, you still got everything together, and you can't find a husband, chances are you're not. Because the condition of the world that we in. Chances, you're not going to find the type of man that you want. Okay? I promise you. These men got felonies. They're out here corrupt. They got violence in them. They don't want to work. They lazy. We're in the great, great apostasy. Filth. Ungodliness. They have abandoned God. So to look for a husband, it'll be just like finding Bigfoot. Same thing with a wife. If you looking for a wife, husbands, it'll be just like trying to find Bigfoot and they ain't never found him. It's moral decay. Women out here today are getting STDs. They're getting AIDS. They're nasty. They don't want to bathe. It's here, people. Whether you like it or not, it's here. All right. Let me make you people understand something. I want to make sure I got my notes. I want to make you people understand. I told you, you can read it for yourself in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. It's considered as lawlessness. This generation has completely abandoned God. The great apostasy. Read it for yourself. But I'm going to read you Luke 12:51. My sinuses are starting up. Let me hurry up with the video. In Luke 12:51, this is what the great separation is right now. Wow. Me and my wife had just discovered that a person that I know is going through a divorce. And I was like, what? These people have been together since high school. Went to college together. And we found out that they're filing for a divorce. An African-American couple. And the husband is probably not taking it well because we found out on his Facebook page he had open heart surgery. So we found out, excuse me, people. Excuse me. We found out that the divorce, which is public records, is pending. So she probably can't divorce him right now because he's probably on her insurance or they want to wait until he gets better. But the great separation is here, and I want to make you people understand what the great separation is. The reason why God is removing husbands and he's removing wives, and so you can get a rundown on what's taking place on the earth today. Why? He's near. Marriages are defaulting, decayed. That's right. Why? Because he's separating the tares from the wheat. Some people are in marriages for personal gain. They fake, play actors, pretenders. So God gonna separate them. All right? Because why? He's preparing his church, his final church. So I'm showing you the conditions, and I'm gonna read it for you in a minute. Some other conditions that you can notify, so you can be aware of, and so you can notice. All right. In Luke 12:51, it says, Christ divides men. I'm going to go to 51, verse 51. It says, Do you suppose that I came to grant peace on earth? This is Jesus saying right now with the condition that we in. He told us and he promised us that he had to let it get more corrupt, more violent, and for people to abandon him. So now this is what he's doing. He is considering to bring separation. He said, I'm not bringing peace on earth. Many people are suffering because, wow, they lonely. They lonely. That's right. And because of the sufferings of the world, it's unbearable. 2 Timothy chapter 3, read it. It's telling you this is the condition we're in right now. So he said, no, I did not come to bring peace. No, I tell you, but rather division. This is the division that he's bringing. You looking for a husband and you're looking for a wife? Good luck. But rather division between believers and unbelievers. For from now on, 5 in one household will be divided over me. 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. They will be divided. Father against son, son against father, mother against daughter, and daughter against mother. Mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. He also said to the crowds, when you see a cloud rising in the west, you immediately say it's going to rain, and that it is how it turns out. And when you see that a south wind is blowing, you say it will be a hot day, and it happens. You hypocrites, play actors, pretenders, you know how to analyze and intelligently interpret the appearance of the earth and sky to forecast the weather, but why do you not intelligently interpret this present time? Didn't I just tell you? God is near. He's near. Okay? So the world's getting ready to end, but not immediately. These are the signs. He's telling you to pay attention to the signs. You want a husband? Ain't gonna happen. You want a wife? Not gonna happen. We're in a state of standing alone. God gonna make each and every person take accountability for being an unbeliever and being a believer. So as you're a believer, are you prepared to stand alone? Or are you gonna go back out into the world? Because God's gonna separate you. He wants you to stand alone so he can seal you, because he doesn't want you to get contaminated with the conditions of the world. Follow me? All right. So now let's go to, I gave you Luke 12:51. Let's go to Luke 21. All right. I'm going to read certain scriptures and I'll tell you the verse. So I'm in Luke chapter 21. Now this is the signs. I'm going to go through it so you can understand the conditions that I'm not a liar and God is not a liar. I'm going to tell you what he's saying. All right. They asked him, teacher, they're talking to Jesus, when will these things happen? And what will be the signs when the things are about to happen? He said, be careful and see to it that you are not misled, for many will come in my name. He's talking about false prophets, okay? In my name, appropriating for themselves the name Messiah, which belongs to me alone, saying, I am he, and the time is near. Do not follow them. When you hear of wars and disturbances, civil unrest, we have upticks with this ICE protest. We have a whole lot of upticks and a whole lot of epidemics. Let me finish reading it. Okay. When you hear of wars and disturbances, civil unrest, revolts, uprisings, do not panic, for these things must take place first, but the end will not come immediately. So, when he says not immediately, he's telling you to prepare. Don't be caught with your pants down. What that mean? He said, put on the full armor of God. That's what he's telling you today. Put on the full armor of God and be not deceived. He's telling you, don't be caught drunk, because God may come. All right. He says in verse 10, I started at verse 7, 8, 9, I'm around here at verse 10. He said, then Jesus told them, nations will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be violent earthquakes and in various places famines and deadly and devastating pestilence, plagues, epidemics, active shooters, violence, corruption, murderers. And there will be terrible sights and great signs from heaven. Let's go down to verse 13. This will be a time and an opportunity for you to testify about me. That's what he's saying. Put on the full armor of him. I'm testifying about him. I want to give God my works. That's right. I know he's coming. Faith without works is dead. That's what he said. This will be a time and an opportunity for you to testify about me. So make up your mind not to prepare beforehand to defend yourselves. For I will give you skillful words and wisdom which none of your opponents will be able to resist or refute. You see, I'm preaching and teaching, right? You can debunk it all you want to, but God says it would be better for you not to hear the truth, for when you hear the truth, you walk away and you ignore it. And somebody that handed you sound doctrine. In the last days, you're going to reject God. That's why he said, repent. He's near. He said, but you will be betrayed and handed over even by parents and brothers and relatives and friends. And they will put some of you to death. Don't you see it? Kids killing parents, parents killing kids, brothers and sisters deleting each other. It's all over the world. Satan has spread it across the world like gangrene, his characteristics. Okay? And you will be continually hated by everyone because of your association with my name. Then he says down here about the return of Christ. He said, there will be signs of testing miracles in the sun and the moon and stars, and on the earth. There will be distress and anguish among nations, in perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea and the waves, storms, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, mudslides, fires. Are you with me? All right. He said, the perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea and the waves, people fainting from fear and expectations of the dreadful things coming on the world, for the very powers of the heavens will be shaken. And then he says in 27, right, he says, then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with transcendent, overwhelming power, subduing the nations and with great glory. Now, when these things begin to occur, stand tall and lift up your heads in joy, because sufferings ends as your redemption is drawing near. Now, I wanted you people to get that. I want to make sure I got everything that I covered. And I want to let you people go. Remember what I told you at the beginning of this video about masturbation and using your hand in toys. All right. I'm going to read this to you. And I'm going to let you people go. I think I got one more scripture. I'm going to let you people go. You don't have to believe me. Apparently, you think you're right. You keep doing it. Okay? You want a husband, but you won't give your life to Christ. You just want to go out here and get on Instagram and show off your body. At the end of the night, you're lonely. And you're using your toys. You're watching porn. And you're using your hand. Or you probably got a man on the side that's paying for it. And he end up deleting you because why? You didn't betray him. This is what pretty women are doing, taking desperate measures. I've seen many Instagram women get deleted. They don't want no husband. Don't worry, I don't need no husband, girl. I got this man. He got money, girl. He pay for it. Yeah, he give me this much every time he wants some. Do you make them cover up? They don't make them cover up. Money will make you take desperate measures. They don't make them. They go in raw. That's right. But this is what the Bible is telling us in Romans chapter 8. It says, escape from bondage. Get rid of them toys. Throw away them porn tapes. Stop using your hand. Prepare yourself for marriage. Listen to me. I'm telling you people that if you're ungodly and you 50, you're not going to find no husband. If you want to maintain single and do things to please the Lord, you have to repent. Chances are, if you give your life to Christ and you're over 50, you're going to find a man like me. Like I just said, if you're ungodly, it's like looking for Bigfoot. You're not going to find a man like me. God ain't going to let you. Listen to me. God will put a man in your life, like I have an assignment, try to clean you up. Okay? But what you're looking for, you want a man to sign up for you. You don't want to be cleaned up. Are you with me? Did you catch that? See, you are looking for a man, a husband, that will say nothing about your breath. He ain't going to talk about how You blown out down there, he ain't gonna talk about you going. He gonna do everything you do with him. Why? He ain't secure. He got out of prison. He gonna start hitting it in the booty because you blown out in the, the booty. Yeah. And then he gonna start putting your mouth on there. Yeah. He just got out of prison. He got felonies. You gonna be taking care of him. And then you piss him off, he gonna delete you. Yeah. He gonna sign up for you. And he ain't gonna tell you that you got some flaws. No, he ain't gonna tell you because he got some flaws. But if you want a husband like me, I got to clean you up. That's what I'm doing to my wife, cleaning her up. Many times she wanted to leave me, but thank God she hasn't. Are you with me? All right. She got 2 boys, and I let one stay here. Didn't work out very well. We still married. Thank God. Yeah. He didn't take me too lightly because why? I checked him. I don't care how pretty his mama is. I told him, get up and bathe, and you need a job. And I'm going back to where I came from. Bye. And we don't talk to this day. Okay? That's the kind of man I am. My wife's beauty don't dictate the Bible. I'm going to stick with it. So I can be by myself, and I don't need to use my hand. And I don't need to go out there and find nobody. Why? He said, you have not because you ask not. Lord, get rid of my addictions. See? So when I make love to my wife, I make love to my wife. I don't F my wife. No, we're not in there making porn flicks. We together. She zoomed in with me, and I'm zoomed in with her. I ain't think about another female. And sometimes I know my wife is tuned in with me. I've been with women where I can tell she ain't thinking about me. Other women didn't call me another man's name. Ooh, so-and-so, you feel good. My name is D. What? This is over with. That's what's going on the earth. Why? In Romans chapter 8, it says, escape bondage. You want to get married, but you haven't escaped bondage. You still think about that other woman. Her coochie was good. You still think about that other man. He was huge. Yeah, he made you feel good. Gave you a whole lot of orgasm. You ain't got over him. It says, now the mind of the flesh is death, both now and forever, because it pursues sin. You see what he said? Now the mind of the flesh. You thinking about that orgasm that other man gave you. You need a spiritual awakening. God said live in the spirit, not in the flesh. You still thinking about how built that other man was. And that man still thinking about how tight and juicy he was. Oh yeah, but he with you. You blown out. So it says, now the mind of the flesh is death, both now and forever, because it pursues sin. But the mind of the spirit is life and peace, the spiritual well-being that comes from walking with God, both now and forever. The mind of the flesh with its sinful pursuits is actively hostile to God. It does not submit itself to God's law, since it cannot, and those who are in the flesh, living a life that caters to sinful appetites and impulses, cannot please God. You go ahead and jack off, buddy. You going straight to hell. You go ahead and use them toys in your hands and get somebody to go down there and yum, yum, yum. Yeah, sleep with your boss. Go ahead. You ain't going to make it in the kingdom. And then it's telling you over here, let's go to verse 13. Romans 8, verse 30 says, for if you are living according to the impulses of the flesh, you are going to die. But if you are living by the power of the Holy Spirit, you are habitually putting to death the sinful deeds of the body. You will really live forever. For all who are allowing themselves to be led by the Spirit of God are sons of God and daughters of God. That's right. All right. Now, I want to make you understand if I got everything. All right, I want to make sure. Oh, here we go, right down here. All right. Now, this is another scripture that's showing us about immorality rebuke. You masturbating. You don't want no man, and you taking desperate measures. It says, it is actually reported everywhere that there is sexual immorality among you, a kind of immorality that is condemned even among the unbelieving Gentiles, that someone has an intimate relationship with his father's wife. So if God is telling you that it is outside his will, that if you go sleep with your father's wife, what make you think that he's okay with you in the shower? And you are there looking at a porn tape and just got your hand down there, Miss Pretty Lady. He don't want you sleeping with your father's wife. Some people do it. I saw a video where a man was sleeping with his son's woman and got deleted. Are you with me, people? All right. Now, I want to close out by telling you this here. I wrote it in James 1. I want to make sure. All right. You see how many women left me? A lot of them. Okay. I've talked about it on other videos. My wife today, because I checked her and I stuck with Bible, she wanted to leave me. Okay. Now, if I tell you, follow me, I'm going to get there. If I tell you you act childish, that you act stupid, your cat smell, you're blown out down there, your breath smell, you talk too much, you party too much, follow me, pretty lady. I know you're suffering. I know you wish you could find you a good husband, but you didn't listen. When a godly man like me told you the truth to your face, you didn't listen. And that's why God cursed you to where he said, well, how is it that you want to be in my kingdom? Because marriage represents Christ. He said, be ye holy, for I am holy. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Marriage is being defiled by people today. You got two women getting married, two men getting married. You got women going out here marrying some idiot that don't know Christ. You don't play with God's covenant like that. So this is what he's telling you in this scripture right here. James 1 verse 19 says, understand this, my beloved brothers and sisters. Hey, pretty lady, you want to be cleaned up? All right, then give your life to Christ and repent. And let me tell you what's going on with you. I want you to clear up your flaws, your blemishes, like I did. I used to be a bed slut. Yes. I used to masturbate. Yes. I used to sleep with women after women after women. I didn't have STDs. Yes. I didn't have babies out of wedlock. Yes. I didn't been divorced, married. Yes. God cleaned me up. Why? Understand this, my beloved brothers and sisters. Let everyone be quick to hear. Somebody spoke to me. Be careful, thoughtful listeners. Somebody spoke to me. Slow to speak, a speaker of carefully chosen words, and slow to anger, patient, reflecting, forgiving, for the resentful, deep-seated anger of a man does not produce the righteousness of God, that standard of behavior which he requires from us. I'm going to read it to you one more time so you can get it. Understand this, my beloved brothers and sisters. Let everyone be quick to hear, be careful, thoughtful listener, slow to speak, a speaker of careful chosen words, and slow to anger, patient, reflective, forgiving, for the resentful, deep-seated anger of a man does not produce the righteousness of God, that standards of behavior which he requires from us. So get rid of all uncleanness and all that remains of wickedness, and with a humble spirit receive the word of God, which is implanted, actually rooted in your heart, which is able to save your souls. But prove yourself doers of the word, actively and continually obeying God's precepts, and not merely listeners who hear the word but fail to internalize its meaning, deluding yourself by unsound reasoning contrary to the truth. For if anyone only listens to the word without obeying it, he is like a man who looks very careful at his natural face in a mirror. For once he looks at himself and gone away, he immediately forgets what he looks like. Hey, pretty lady. Now you're going to hate me for telling you this here. Don't be like the Pharisees. God told the Pharisees, you look good on the outside. And he checked them. And those are the ones that pursued him and nailed him to the cross. Because why? They were desperately wicked on the inside. So this is what pretty women are doing today. And we're not talking about handsome men today. That's another video. Pretty women today are coating themselves on the outside. And you see them from a distance and they look good. And they go look in the mirror, and as soon as they walk away, they immediately forget what they look like. Why? They're looking at the outer appearance. God examines the heart. You filthy, and you don't want to be cleaned up. And that's why when you age, you are standing alone and you're suffering alone. Because why? You want to be married. But when a man like me tried to clean you up, you ran off. Girl, he's too controlling. And now age done caught you. Everything is dropping. Now you still hold your body a little bit, but guess what? Don't nobody want you. Why? You're a contentious wife. You talk too much. Every time a person tries to tell you, hey, you always fight. You either flee, fight, and flight. Y'all take care, you two. Be back with another video.